Next question I ask would be around coaching. Have you ever had like a coach or a mentor? Have you ever done like a mentorship program? And if so, is it worth it?
I'm trying to think. I don't have a good reputation with mentorship programs, just in the sense of one time I wanted to go there to network, and it was one of those free real estate courses where I shouldn't have even gone, but it was a good learning experience, at least, where they try to sell you the first day and then they kind of just bring you back for a little bit more money. Maybe it's $100 to come back, then it's $1,000, and they sell you on their $50,000 course program. And this one, he ended up kicking me out halfway through the program, which was kind of interesting. But education courses, I've really found value in free education courses, be it podcasts, be it real estate meetups. And some of those you might need to pay $20 for entry, but that is such a minimal cost to be able to network with people that are actually doing what you're doing. And for me, also, I've found great value in just having a mentor. And I found a lot of my mentors organically or even through those real estate meetups where I provide value to them and they do teach me, and I'll bring them deals or I'll bring them business, and we'll both have a win-win solution. And so that's what actually I've really focused on. And not to say that I haven't invested into other education courses. I'm in one right now with Hunter Thompson, and it's really about raising capital for real estate syndications. And so that has been a good experience. But for the most part, finding a mentor and being able to add value, that has really been my go-to strategy.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, Raise Masters, I assume is what you're talking about, is such a
Right.
cool program.
Hmm.
I always recommend Hunter's book. I think he's done a really good job. I think that's a great mastermind. The modules are really good. So yeah, couldn't say enough good stuff about Hunter Thompson as well.
Hmm.
It's hard to say, right? Like you kind of have to find the right thing for you. And I'm glad you're able to find something like that. Yeah. Because some mentors out there, they're just not going to fit your style or not going to
Right.
fit what you're going for. Maybe just don't fit where you are in your path right then. Right. So it's
Hmm.
kind of a good lesson as well, is to make sure you take the time to make sure that that person or that group is right for you. So
Right. And Eric, I think you bring up a good point is where, and Hunter talks about this all the time, is that you don't want, well, if you're just starting out, you don't want to go to a Grant Cardone for mentorship, right? You want to start with someone that's about 6 months ahead of you and then learn from that person. And then once you're there, scale up to maybe 6 months again to ahead of where you want to be. Because if you just go to the top, you're going to have a lot not as good results as you would if you start with someone that's just 6 months ahead of you. So that's really helped me scale as well.
so good. Another thing that you mentioned about mentorship is providing value.
Hmm.
So, you hear that question all the time. It's like, well, how do I find a mentor? Well, a lot of times it's just literally give someone what they're after, right? Like Hunter. I mean, that's probably a bad example. Someone maybe not quite as advanced as Hunter, but doing what you want to do, bring them a deal, just like you said,
Hmm.
or say, hey, I'll underwrite for you, or whatever it is that value you can provide to that person, and then in return they will provide that mentorship. So that's hugely valuable. What you said is, if you're listening to this, you're looking for a mentor, provide some value for that person.
That's
The other
right.
thing that's important is, like, if you just say, hey, what do you need? A lot of times that person doesn't even know, right? Like it'd almost be better for you to provide some value they don't even necessarily know they need. And like, oh, sweet, this person has the gumption or whatever that word is, right? Like they're going to go after this stuff and they're providing me free value. They're going to significantly give you more of their time. So such a good tip there.